The truth and love are themes that are found in the book of First Timothy. The truth appears 5 times in this book. Love appears 6 times. Both of them are necessary in ministry. Both of them are needed in the life of the church. Our text of study today is Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 15. It says, "But speaking the truth in love may grow up in all things into Him who is the head, Christ." Let us notice that in order to build up the church, number one, we must be willing to speak. Those who have the ability to teach and preach should use that ability. Timothy was told to stir up the gift that was within him and to not be ashamed, 2 Timothy 1, verses 6 through 8. He was to preach the word and to do so in season and out of season, 2 Timothy 4, verses 1 and 2. Paul said, "Woe is me if I do not preach the gospel," 1 Corinthians 9 and verse 16. Members should use their tongues to edify, Ephesians 4 and verse 29. Members should exhort and to stir up love and good works. Paul instructed to comfort each other and edify one another, 1 Thessalonians 5 and verse 11. Our tongues can be used for much good. It has been said that sometimes silence is golden, but sometimes it's merely yellow. Do we really care enough to speak? Do we not realize the great cause that is there before us? Number two, we must be willing to speak the truth. The original word that is translated "speaking the truth" appears twice in the New Testament, in Galatians 4:16 and in Ephesians 4:15. And it literally means to proclaim the truth or to deal with truthfully. It is the truth of God's Word, not human opinions or human wisdom, that needs to be proclaimed. The truth has power. It is the truth which begets, which sets free, which purifies, and which sanctifies, and which arms one for spiritual warfare. Moreover, it's not enough to speak some truth, but hold back on teaching all that should be taught. Paul said, "I kept back nothing that was helpful, but proclaimed it to you and taught you publicly and from house to house." Again he said, "I have not shunned to declare to you the whole counsel of God," Acts 20 and verse 27. Someone has written, "If you are my friend, if you are concerned about my soul, then give me the truth. For the truth, and only the truth, can make me free from the shackles of sin, strengthen me in the pathway of righteousness, and lead me to heaven's joy." But friends, not only are we to speak the truth, but we are to speak the truth in love. Our speech must be motivated by love, genuine love. Love is what motivated Paul to correct the brethren at Corinth in 2 Corinthians 2 and verse 4. One brother has written, "One of the most unloving acts that one can do is nothing when he knows that a brother is being overcome by sin." Brotherly love cares enough to correct. Our speech should always be tempered with love. We should be in the habit of seasoning our words with salt, Colossians 4 and verse 6. Yes, there is a time for bold speech. However, this should be the exception and not the rule. Jesus was very bold with his active vocal opponents who were trying to interfere with his work or who were plotting against him, but this was not the way that he treated most people. You consider his interactions with Nicodemus, the woman at the well, the woman caught in adultery, the rich young ruler, and so on. We should avoid being unnecessarily offensive or rude or unkind. We should always strive to be compassionate and demonstrate our love. Imagine 2 preachers, and one points out sin in a member's life with a gleam in his eye and seems to enjoy it. The other points out sin in a member's life with a tear in his eye and seems sincerely concerned. Which would you come closer to hearing? The Apostle Paul shed tears when he preached. May we rejoice with those who rejoice and weep with those who weep, Romans 12 and verse 15. Let us learn to sincerely care for people and remember that without love, we are nothing, 1 Corinthians 13, verses 1 through 3. We as children of God must remember that proclaiming the word is not just about rebuking, but it is also about convincing, exhorting, comforting, and edifying. Thank you for joining us for our program today. Have a blessed day.